we go to this special guest dinner. 4 of our guy friends and then 2 girls. It was actually like, I was on really good behavior. And leaving his girlfriend still at the table.
Unprotected.
Now there are like 5 of us.
Nope.
Unprotected. Right. Who's next to me. He starts to engage her with like a normal question. Oh,
How's
you like Boston? And when I hear that, it kind of pisses me off. I'm like, that's a really dumb question. I'm in the school of thought of like, let me have Asperger's, dude. Let me just full blown ask that intrusive thought that's in my mind. I might have stood up when I asked this. It was actually crazy. I get up and I'm like, hey, this is like as Aisha's asking his question because I could tell it was dumb.
You stood up?
I'm like, hey, I heard you got a hot sister. Now this isn't even a question. I don't know if that's clear.
Oh no,
that's just a full-blown statement.
That's a statement. He made a statement, a proclamation, stood up and proclaimed it.
She was just like, "Oh, I can tackle this Boston question," and out of nowhere, it's just, "Oh, what's
I
this?
heard you got a hot sister."
Welcome to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about smart. Oh, I thought you'd finish my statement.
No,
you're
no,
remote,
because
dude.
The hook is one
And
person.
you're on a lag
The
switch.
hook is
Smart
one person.
nonsense.
Pop.
That's what I wanted. No, and you lagged. You lagged the whole time. That was sick.
Yeah. We're here, Pop. We're back. It's Monday.
We're back, dude.
Back in the hat.
I wish I saw you this past weekend. I didn't.
Really? No.
Didn't at all. Had a college boys reunion, which we do every quarter, more or less. And
Some would say very frequently. Very frequently. Once a quarter is actually, yeah, it's pretty good.
that's kind of the sweet spot, really.
Yeah.
You do more than once every 3 months, and actually we live together. So what am I saying? We can get along. But sometimes I put it to the test. And I did I mean to get right into it? I don't know if I did.
Right in.
Fuck, dude.
Well, because
Well,
everyone's
make the trip.
been texting me all weekend. Like, basically, anytime you said something, someone just texted like, "Dylan, behave, behave," and I'm just seeing this from a distance. And then, like midnight on Saturday or so, 10 p.m. on Saturday, I just get, "Oh no,
Right. I didn't.
Dylan really, really misbehaved," and I've been dying to know what happened.
Well, we shouldn't get expectations out of whack here. It's just, it's a pretty typical how I interact with people. So here's the thing. All right. We've been talking about this for a while within our friend group. Like, we don't really know much about each other. We pretty much just get together and we play every activity under the sun and then don't talk about anything. But we've been working on talking about things. One of those things is jobs. It's like, hey, Dylan and Henry, what the fuck do you guys do? Because somehow you make money and we watch your YouTube videos. So we tell them about that. And then we learn about like Wall Street and engineering tutorials and all that stuff that our friends do. And it's really entertaining. The other side is relationships. So like, I don't really know much about, like, Henry purposely doesn't tell me much about his relationship because I kind of fucking blew that one up when I tried to hang out. And we don't really do that anymore. So that was 0 for 1. But like, we wanted to have more things where like people open up like, hey, let's talk about relationships because we don't really know much about our significant others. And at the time I had one. So this was our last quarterly meetup back in July.
Right into
and,
it.
We were all stoked. We were like, hey, we should all have like a guys and girls, like friends and girlfriends hangout.
Can't.
Yeah. Well, can't for a couple of reasons. One, because I have no girl. So at this point, things have changed. So what it would turn into is just like everyone else has girls and then it's just me hanging out. But I guess this was just floated and like, I don't know, like the idea was still there. So basically this past weekend we had all the boys together except Henry because he didn't want to fly.
No, a couple people didn't have girlfriends after that. The idea was floated when everyone had girlfriends, and then a couple months passed, and then 2 or 3 didn't have girlfriends, and we kind of decided like, and one had a brand new girlfriend, so we kind of decided like there's just too much in flux. There's too much in flux to do with guys and gals.
Who are these people?
Sheev broke up, and then
Blind.
Sten had a brand new girlfriend. So it's gonna be like too early to.
She's like a year ago. Well, they met a year ago.
But at the time, yeah, I don't know. Oh,
yeah, maybe not. Well,
New Year's. No, gloss over.
Oh, that's part of the dinner too. Basically, the point is we all just like play a lot of activities, and now we try and like incorporate our outside lives, our significant others.
But did you see? I think you sent it to me. This is like common for men. I'm pretty sure because I have no clue what my high school friends do, and we're all totally fine with that. You sent me this meme about this guy whose best friend is this random neighbor that he golfs with, and they like have never spoken to each other. They just text like golf ? They know like way more about each other's strokes and golf clubs than anything the other does the rest of their life. Well, it's kind of beautiful.
It's also like, yeah, that's pretty much like our friendship for the most part, but we try and like work on that. But also like I have other friends where we just like we joke about this. We just live in skits. Like there's nothing really emotional here. It's just like fucking making weird noises and voices and being I don't even know how to describe it. It's like just improv, just constant improv. So yeah, what the fuck is the point? Okay,
well, people should also but people should read it's like Tim Urban's 10 types of friendships or something like that. And one of them is the two friends that are just constantly stuck in a bit. And I know because I'll hear you on the phone with this guy, and I'm just like, oh my, like it's just constant bit work.
Right. Which is super fun, but you got to go deeper at some point. So these are our sports friends, like our best friends from college, still probably best friends. We all get together in Boston except Belky because he's got like other fucking, I don't know. They were all really bummed. They thought you'd do like a surprise visit, which I think you've done in the past of like saying you're not going to make it, then make it.
I have.
So
I was in New York like a week ago. That's why. No one came to New York, and then I didn't want to fly back out a week later, and then I got really sick.
You got the sniffles.
I got the sniffles.
So we're all there, and this was like kind of like we have a schedule. So like my friends will like put literally itemized like hour by hour for like 72 hours straight what's going to happen. And on that schedule was this item, line item for special guests. So I didn't know at the time, but it was like later revealed like, hey, these special guests are actually just like two of our girlfriends, one Kevin and one Austin. So
that's crazy that special guest was an itemized portion of the schedule.
Right. No, it's a big deal. So we go to this special guest dinner. Okay. Fuck, dude. How do I get into this? Well, I don't know, dude. Everything's in Cambridge. I
know, but you like went out to get pizza or something, and there were going to be special guests there.
We went out to this like Thai Asian cuisine place, and like everyone sits down. It's basically like Kevin. They're like four of our guy friends and then two girls. And so I got Kevin's girlfriend. She's next to me. I like once they sat down, like kind of the girls were like on the fringes. I'm like, no, bring it in. So they like got closer, which is dangerous. Now I'm bringing them in. I'm reeling them in. And you don't really want them that close to me because like of the friends, everyone's like pretty safe in general. Pretty like.
Oh, the safest.
They're not trying to ruffle any feathers.
No ruffling of feathers. Like easiest group to get along with. Small talk. Well, I think name
like,
it.
If you're used to like brown, there are a lot of different like eggshells that you have to walk on. So you get used to like, hey, I'm gonna like tread lightly on everything, and like they're kind of also eggshells in a sense. Like they're okay with being PC. I don't like being PC. I hate it. And so like that's a concern, right? So, but I'm good.
Special guest
I'm gonna
dinner.
be on good behavior. This special guest dinner. I don't want to like cause too much of a ruckus. So Maddie, who I've known the longest, that's Kevin's girlfriend.
It's crazy at this age that you have to be told to behave. It's like it's not a given.
Well, because we have friends. I remember we talk about this, like even on like a sales call or something. You have someone there, and it's like, just you want the friends that just won't blow shit up. Like, just please, just fucking act normal for a little bit.
Right.
But I don't want to act normal, dude. That's boring as fuck. I'll get out. So what happens is basically we're all in conversation, and we're kind of like breaking off into quadrants, like, or like, I don't know. We split in half, and like Austin and his girlfriend Shannon, I don't really know her. I only really know like one thing about her, which I'll get to in a second. But they're talking over there, and then on my corner I got Maddie, and we're like having a good time. It was actually like I was on really good behavior. I was asking about like she quit her high paying tech job to become a third grade teacher. I'm asking her about tests and fucking questions and stuff. And then
he's an active listener.
Austin leaves. I'm an active one. Austin leaves, leaving his girlfriend Shannon still at the table.
Unprotected.
Now there are like 5 of us.
Nope.
Unprotected, dude. Right? And there's a free safety that's absolutely, that's coming through.
No. No.
So
you hold it in.
We all. What happens is, Ais, who's next to me, he starts to engage her with like a normal question, right? He's like, "Oh, Shannon, you like Boston?" Or like something fucking stupid like that. And when I hear that, it kind of pisses me off. I'm like, that's a really dumb question. Like, I don't want to talk about Boston. It's like asking, like, what do you think of the weather on the ride here? It's like, who cares? So instead, I have my own agenda. And basically, like, I don't know. Kind of like my theory.
What's going through your head
on all of this?
Sure.
What's going through my head? They're basically like two schools of thought, right? There's the school of like, hey, don't be fucking weird and ask a really fucking weird question and blow this whole thing up.
Well, and then there's that's how to win friends and influence people. Like half the book is like, don't be weird and blow shit up. Just engage in small talk.
Right. Because all we really have to do, it's like just survive an hour, and then nothing bad happens. It's just like everyone's happy, the world goes on. But it's a really low bar. It's fucking so absurdly low. I didn't even have to. We were making jokes. Like, I should have, like, the whole time, like, this is even before the incident, I should have just like put my hood on and just not made noise the entire dinner, and it would have been fine. Like, just don't open your mouth.
You just listen.
Right? Just active listen. Because there are enough people where you can get by with that. You can be a free rider, but I didn't want to be a free rider. I wanted to take the wheel. And so what happens is Ais asked that boring, or he's in the school of thought of ask the boring question. I'm in the school of thought of like, let me have Asperger's, dude. Let me just full blown ask that intrusive thought that's in my mind. So the only thing I really know about Shannon, one is actually two things, I guess. One is like I was the first person to really like see her because I saw when they met. I was at that party, and that's part of the reason why. Well, I was basically hanging out with Austin at this New Year's party, and then he broke off to hang out with this girl, and he kind of like left me stranded. So things got crazy from there. But I was the first one to meet her. And then last weekend, or I don't know when this was, but Austin was here. Maybe I fucking don't remember anymore.
In New York.
Austin was here, and he told us like, hey, he was like, yeah, I went and met Shannon's family, and yeah, actually, like, she's got a really hot sister. And I'm like, whoa, really hot sister. Like, I like really hot sisters. What's her deal? Like, yeah, she's in college and whatever. Just started talking about that. So now,
not a really hot younger sister.
Right. I now hear, hey, what do you think of Boston? And I'm like, that's a really boring as fuck I'll get out question. Let me ask a better question. And now I fucked up a couple times, but yeah.
Did you shut that question down? Did you just fly over it?
I might have stood up when I asked this. It was actually crazy. I get up and I'm like, hey, Shannon. This is like as Aisha asking his question, because I could tell it was dumb.
You stood up?
Like, yeah, I don't want to say, there was like, I would think I was out of my chair. It was a very quick reaction. I said, hey, Shannon.
I'm barking.
And she turns, she locks in. I heard you got a hot sister. Now this isn't even a question. I don't know if that's clear.
Oh no,
that's just a full-blown statement.
That's a statement. He made a statement, a proclamation. stood up and proclaimed it.
She was just like, "Oh, I can tackle this Boston question," and out of nowhere, it's just, "Oh, what's this?
You got a hot sister."
Now,
dude, you have to behave.
Because what was going through my head? Because at the time, I knew I'm like, "Hey, this is kind of, I'm gonna misbehave a little." Because there's no way this is a necessary question. But part of my school of thought is like, I want to just stress test where you are. I want to put pressure on the eggshells, because sometimes they're strong, and really, like, if I'm testing, granted, part of the problem, the flaw with my logic, multiple flaws, but one of the flaws here is like, this is sort of sorting for my personality. Like, I would like a person that's like, "Oh yeah, my sister's hot as shit." Like someone that's like, "Oh yeah, that's super funny. Like, who the fuck says that?" And like keeps rolling with it. But
you're supposed to make other people feel comfortable. This is the whole Dale Carnegie. You know,
I'm not trying to win this friend, though. I'm trying to pressure Duke. So basically, yeah, the main thing is like, even like our own friends, like I would do things kind of like what we do when it's like you see someone in the street. Like we walked in this Asian restaurant and I saw like an Asian dude. And I'm like, "Oh, why is Binky here?" And like they got mad at me because they're like, "Dude, come on, you don't have to be racist." And I'm like, "Fuck, stupid ass friends. Let me make a joke." So honestly, like our friend group doesn't even like my sense of humor most of the time. So it's like crazy of me to now like stress test her on my sense of humor when they don't even like it. Because it's like, why even do that? Just fucking put the hood up and don't.
He stood up.
And so what happened?
Okay, so
really,
I assume there's a record scratch.
Right, there's a record scratches. It was a good like, take a gulp, think, did this guy not even ask a question, just make a bold statement out of his chair saying, "I heard you have a hot sister." And now who the fuck would I hear that from? The only person I would hear that from is this girl's boyfriend, who's not saying that her sister's hot. So she's quick. She's got quick logic, because one, she didn't it was like deadpan. There was no one laughed except I kind of fucking I laughed because he's like,
because he knows.
"Oh no, he misbehaved, dude." This is like the first thing I'm saying to our dinner. And so now she hears this, and immediately like after that gulp, she is then like, "Oh, who'd you hear that from?" And now I'm like, "Fuck, dude." She gave it right back to me, and now she knows she has me trapped, and like no one's happy about this. And now, I mean, I'm trying to be quick on my feet, but everyone knows I got slow wit. I'm the Zamboni when we're playing jacks. Like, I just can't think fast. So I was like, just the word on the street. Like everyone's talking about her hot sister. Dude.
The word on the street. That means like the whole group's talking about her sister being hot.
Right. And it started with Austin. And I didn't mean
Austin
it like
Boulevard.
this. It doesn't have to be like this, but kind of like by implication, it means her sister's hotter than her.
It means a lot. It doesn't
of things, necessarily.
Really.
I think that's how most people would interpret it. You got a hot sister. It's probably competitive. So now it's multiple levels are gone. And now keep in mind, Austin's gone. He has no idea that I just misbehaved. So now there's like super awkward.
Can't get up.
And like there's no yes and. It's just like a what the fuck was that? Like whatever that is in improv. It was a what the fuck was that? And then like I think I literally just shut down. And Ayes was like, "Well, that was weird. What do you think of Boston?" Because they had to pivot, dude.
Oh, he brought it back. He went back to how to win friends and influence.
Someone had to take over. Yeah. So we tried to
just
change
shut
subjects.
down. You sit back.
Oh no,
down.
no, wait. This is. Wait, hold on. I tried another save before he fully got out of it. I was like, oh, where'd you? Oh, so after word on the street, I'm like, oh, word on the street, and I forget what she said, but I'm like, yeah, like I don't know, I heard like you got like a really hot, attractive family. Athletic. I said athletic.
Which is attractive to you.
So it was just a triple down, dude. It was really bad. So he tried to pull through. I just shut down. And now the issue is she hates me. Because that's a really fucking weird question to ask someone as the first thing you've ever said to this person. Austin has no idea. He comes back into this now like really tense environment.
Hot pot.
Yeah. And
did he get cooked?
I at some point well there was like we kind of like he didn't know. He sat down and it was like a good like 10 minutes before like he was just ignorance is bliss. And like Pop would whisper to me, he's like, dude, you're so fucked. And then I'd fucking start giggling and I'd lose my shit and I'd like fall over and hide under the table. It was the most childish immature shit. And then
well, one time we were at dinner with Athena and another girl, and Athena had to pull us aside after and was like, guys, all you do is tell inside jokes. Like, nobody knows what you're talking about. Can you act your age? We're just
right.
So stupid.
And then fuck, I forgot what Tom did. Because keep in mind, like we just kind of like moved on as a group, and like no one really like acknowledged this because it was just like this elephant in the room. It was like right on the dinner table elephant, and Austin couldn't see it, and we all felt really bad. So Tom at one point, what the fuck did he do? I forget, but we were like, we got to kind of bring this up as a group and like address it before she has him one-on-one with Austin. Because we need a game plan. Like, because Austin's now, he's the one that's going to get fucked because he's saying her sister's hot and probably hotter than her by implication. And granted, I've never seen this sister, so I have no idea what she even looks like. Although I think I talked about her being in college. Oh, yeah. Austin, I don't know. Tom tried to save me, and then I just had to. I had to somehow take it like
Tom tried to save you with how
well, I don't know if he tried. People? He tried to bring it up. I don't think he tried to save me. He tried to air it out.
Yeah, air it out with the group, right?
Fuck, I forgot she was gonna air it out exactly. But we just had to be like, no, he sat down like a normal human. Fuck, I don't even know. I didn't even have an angle really on Shiv and Maddie, but I know I could like feel the tension over there, so I didn't even want to try and look.
And you have no idea how it was aired out with the group. You blacked out.
Well, I don't know what he first said, but he tried to address it, and I just tried to double down, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'm like the single friend that oh no, we tried to so. Our way of coping is just like, all right, now we're gonna have to throw Dylan under the bus as much and just pile on as much as possible.
You got to distance
so then
yourself.
We all just went with like, yeah, Dylan's really fucking weird. He hits on every girlfriend's friend group, and they all hate him. That's why Henry's not here. Like, God knows Athena wouldn't make it to this dinner because he's already blown that up. And then I doubled down. I'm like, fucking hot college girl. Like, I guess I'll have to wait a couple years or something.
That might have been quadruple at that point.
No, dude.
Did you learn your lesson, or where are we at?
Well, then we played like fishbowl later in the night, and like Tom put in the fishbowl like,
Shannon's hot.
Do you have
sister,
any siblings? Yeah, something like that. And
keeps coming up.
And it was just tough.
Pouring salt in the wound every time.
Basically, we got the debrief the next day, and she was like, hey, like dinner was really cool. Glad I hung out with you. But that friend Dylan, he's really weird. I was like, fuck. Like, I've never once heard of anyone that would ask a question like that. Never mind the first question.
It was a statement. It was a statement.
Yeah, that's right. So she was in the wrong. So did I learn my lesson? No, because I had a lot of fun, and I realized I got to walk on eggshells around her. Probably should in general. But
I would say most people, the first hour you meet them,
walk on eggshells. Well, yeah. Especially if it's really the only hour you'll meet them. Like, I definitely won't see Shannon ever again. But like, I probably won't really see her like for years. just because we don't have many of these events and I don't live in Boston. So it like make no sense. It's like really just behave like an hour once every 2 years. And like, that's fine. But no, dude, I'm selfish. I want to ask that question. But Ice really liked it, dude. He had a great time with that. Still does. It's gonna be a great fishbowl.
He's not implicated. He can just sit around and laugh at it. I love it from a distance. Right. I know though. Man, I'm the epicenter. That would have been,
dude. Yeah. And what's happened before, because I'm a repeat offender. And we talked about this. I don't know if on the pod, but
it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once you get labeled as the weird friend that asks crazy questions,
but it's kind of sick.
Like, might as well.
I know. The tough thing is, well, I don't really want to be at these dinners anyway. So like, if I'm not invited, that's not a big problem. But God, here's the thing. I think so like after Shannon gave the debrief to Austin, and then like Austin came and reported back, and she was like, yeah, basically Dylan's really fucking weird, which everyone agreed with. And then Aisha was like, oh, was there anything else notable? And she's like, and then Austin was like, yeah, well, not really. That was pretty much it. It's like, there you go, dude. I gave you guys a story. Otherwise, nothing notable. It would have been a normal, boring as fuck all get out dinner that you probably forget. So it's like, now it's memorable. So thanks. And we had another dinner. This is what I was going to say. Like my original radicalization was this was actually drinks in New York when it was like 7 dudes and this one girl that went to school with us.
And memorable, I'll tell you that much.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. This wasn't like targeted or anything. It was just kind of like we were just shooting the shit. And I don't know how it came up. We were talking about a bunch of finance bros. And I'm like, basically,
you don't know the person.
We're on the street corner. I kind of knew the person. I also wanted to see how they react. Like, I'm doing this because I'm curious. I'm like, what'll happen? Because sometimes, like, if they react in a good way, like, they're like, wow, that's fucking funny. And they, like, double down. I'm like, oh, I'm going to like this person for a long time. If they react like, this fucking guy's a weirdo, it's like, okay, well, we're just fucking, we'll stay apart. So I was just seeing people walk down the street and, like, a lot of guys, a lot of girls. And I'm like, as I'm paying rent in New York City, like, I know it was really expensive. So basically, I'm like, hey, oh no, we were talking about like finance. Everyone at the table was finance. They're all finance bros. And I'm like, it's really weird. Like all guys are in finance. That's where all the money is. And then like girls walking down the street, there seem to be as many guys as girls. So I'm like, hey, well, all these guys are in finance. Well, maybe I didn't have the preface. That might have hurt.
No, dude, no preface. And I don't think you didn't say a word at the hangout. Right. He comes out of the corner, comes out of the darkness, and just drops 8 guys, 1 girl. How do girls afford to live in New York City? Goes back into the darkness. Fucking mic drops.
Right. Like, was Dylan's at the dinner? Yeah, I didn't say anything to that point. That's a good point. I was just like, yeah, I think I even had like a little build up to it. It was like, hey guys,
well, you might have singled her out.
Did I single? Quick question. No, she singled. I don't think I singled her out. I think it was posing a question to the table. And I will double down on that sentiment of like, I'm kind of figuring it out, but I still didn't really know how women afford New York City. I'm like, I see all these girls. They don't do the job that pays a lot.
Here's the thing is, there was a palatable question you could have asked, which was just hey, if finance is male dominated, like where are all the women at? What are they working on?
Here's the difference. I know that's a possible question I can ask. I know I can sugarcoat anything. It's not hard. Like I could, if I had to get a job on a job interview, I'll code anything. The problem is I don't want to code things. So if I really want to see if you're a friend, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to say it the way that I'd like to say it. That's funnier to me. It's like, here it is. The problem is, I'll end the topic in a second, but like, I think the problem is all our friends, which I should have realized, but all our friends go to Brown, and like you're pretty much a 95% chance if you ask these sort of questions with anyone related to Brown, which is super PC school, you're gonna.
Well, I think that especially, but a lot of these things are also taboo to bring up, like in the first sentence you meet someone.
Yeah, well, I knew these people. They were our friends. Not
like
the Shannon case, but
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah.
fucking taboo as fuck all. But I just thought it'd be funny. I'm like, what might happen here? And I rolled the dice, and dude, snake eyes.
Slayed.
Hold on.
Slain.
Ugh.
Well, any longer, and this is gonna be an episode you're gonna have to go through that's over 30 minutes. So